What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review of Love After Lockup Season 4, Episode 8. So, let's go. Y'all know how we do. We're going to go couple by couple. We have Chaz and Bronwyn. Now, we left off with the two of them laying in bed and him trying to get him a little nookie, and her saying, listen, I can't do nothing. The person whose apartment I'm staying in, the only thing they ask of me is that I don't be up in here having strangers up in their house and having sex up under their roof. Now, while they were there, the guy came home. His name is Mike. And Mike seemed cool, but Mike seemed very firm in what he said. Like, listen, you know, I don't have no problem. You know, I don't have no problem doing what I'm doing for you. I just ask that you not have a bunch of people in my house, and I ask that you not be in my house having sex. Like, we ain't doing that. Stay clean, stay sober, and we'll be good. And so I feel like Chaz was like, if he introduced himself as the husband, that maybe he'll get a pass. And he was like, you know, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm Chaz. You know, I'm her husband. We got married. And Mike was like, that's great. I'm glad y'all got married. That don't change nothing I said. So he ended up having to leave. And the poor thing was like, damn, I don't even get to consummate my marriage. Like, I figured that maybe, you know, her parole officer would give us one night before she had to report. Or maybe Mike would feel like, okay, well, they're married, so, you know, I can hook you up. But, damn, nah. Like, both of them were giving me the side eye. So, he went back to the hotel. Child, he had the hotel all decorated. He had rose petals on the floor. And he had all kinds of stuff. And signs up and stuff. And lingerie all over the place. And then, next thing you know, we see Brahman talking to Aaron. Aaron is the ex-boyfriend that met her down to the jail that she claimed was so toxic, and their relationship was so toxic. And she's talking to him like, why were you at the jail? Like, that's not a good idea. Like, we're so toxic for each other. But I ain't feel like she said it like with conviction. She ain't said like, bruh, leave me alone. I don't understand why you brought your ass up to that jail. You know that there's nothing good coming out of that. So at the end of the day, you go your way, I'm gonna go my way, lose my number. Nah. He was in her phone programmed and everything. And she calling him just as nice. I said, see, nope. Robin, I had hopes for you, girl, but I feel like we're going to be in the same bullshit. I feel like it's the same bullshit, okay? Child, Rick and Radine, listen, this is a whole situation. So Rick decides that he's going to surprise Radine. He done got a friend of his who has a pool with a jacuzzi in his backyard. He done asked him if he could borrow her backyard for a couple of hours, and he gets Radine, and he buys her all these different bathing suits, because he was like, I didn't know what you would like. So he done bought her about 4 or 5 bathing suits to pick from, and she was like, I'm a little self-conscious because I know I'm pale. I just got out of jail. I don't have no tan or nothing. But she comes out in the bikini. She got over that real quick, honey, because she came out there in the bikini, and then Rick went and got dressed, and listen, now Rick, I'm with you I'm with you on this 98% of the situation, because I think Radine full of shit. But when y'all went to the restaurant, Radine said that she is trying to stay away from meat, and she is trying to stay away from sweets, because if she can conquer her addiction to meat and sweets, then it'll help her with her addiction to the drugs. And what did you bring her, Rick? You bought her chocolate covered strawberries, and you bought her some meat. I don't know what kind of meat it was, but she said something about the meat. Why would you bring her the very things that she said she's trying not to do? I feel like that was a little insensitive to what she's trying to do, Rick. But okay. Either it was insensitive, or you just was so caught up and trying to do this surprise for her that you wasn't even thinking like that. But I thought of it immediately. But anyway, y'all in the jacuzzi, and you trying to be all romantic and stuff. But Rick, you a freak. You a freak, Rick, and everybody ain't a freak like you, Rick. Everybody not a freak. You picking up her feet, you trying to suck on her toes and all that stuff. Everybody is not a freak like you, sir. And I feel like Radine wasn't appreciative of it. She was like, oh my gosh, do not put my feet in your mouth. Do not put my toes in. Oh, that's nasty. You was trying to get you a little nookie. And then you was trying to, I guess, call yourself apologizing to her, but you wanted to talk about the situation. And she was like, we ain't talking about it. It is what it is. It happened, and we're going to roll. We're going to just keep it rolling. We are not getting ready to dwell in this place, okay? We are not going to dwell in this place. Later on in the episode, we see Rick talking to his roommate. And his roommate is telling him, listen, something ain't right, bruh. Like, something is not right. Something is not adding up. Y'all been, quote-unquote, boyfriend and girlfriend for 3 years while she's in jail. Yet, she only slept with you one time. Like, if that's my boyfriend and I ain't seen him in 3 years. Like, we are breaking beds. I'm not understanding why she is not, there's no sense of urgency from her. And then she got this whole other girlfriend that she ain't told you about. Come on, Rick. Stop it. Stop playing. Rick, you're not that stupid, bruh. Like, you really not. Like, I feel like you're just holding on because you vested so much. But let it go. Let it go. Then we see Radine at a coffee shop at the end of the episode. And this scene for me was so scripted. But it is what it is, child. She said she hadn't talked to her girlfriend in a couple of days. She ain't talked to Jay in a couple of days. And she nervous, child. She nervous. Because she ain't talked to her and she misses her so much. So she calls the jail. Now, first of all, you know good and damn well you call the jail after hours. You know that you ain't going to get no information calling the jail after hours. So she called talking about something. Hey, I'm calling. My wife is at your facility and I was calling to get some information. So then here go the producers. Your wife. So, I mean, what are you trying to say? Are y'all married? And she was like, yeah, we're married. Well, are you going to tell Rick? I mean, I don't know. Girl, bye. When y'all get married? Because inmates can't get married in jail. Y'all not even supposed to be having relationships in jail. Y'all not even supposed to be having, even though it's same sex, y'all not even supposed to be having a relationship. So I know y'all ain't get married. I mean, if it's, y'all put it in the comments if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. But if they're not even supposed to be dating, how can they get married? So, were you married to her before you went to jail? Because if you was married to her before you went to jail, then you was dating Rick before you went to jail, and that don't make no sense. Now, if you married her after you got out of jail, that still don't make no sense. When did y'all get married? I need answers. Y'all need to put it in the comments and explain some things to me, because I need some answers. Anyway, we got Kayla and Martell. Listen, I can't with them. Kayla overslept and she was late picking Martell up. And I knew that was going to be a problem from the door. She gets there to pick Martell up and Martell got an attitude. He mad. He's standing outside with all his shit in the garbage bag. He cold and he want to know what took her so long. She said, I'm sorry I overslept. And she's kind of giggling. And I feel like she's giggling because she's nervous, not giggling because she thinks it's funny. I think it's sort of that nervous giggle like, I'm so sorry, yo. Oh, baby, you out here waiting. Oh, I'm sorry. And he is pissed. Like, he is legit pissed. She tries to hug him. He won't hug her back. He was like, you sitting here laughing like it's funny. It's not funny. And then he gonna say in his confessional, I think it's disrespectful for you to be late to pick somebody up. Bruh, she overslept. She didn't say she forgot about you. She didn't say that you weren't important. She didn't say that she decided to run some errands and got behind. She said she fucking overslept because she probably working 2 or 3 jobs to pay for this damn 2-bedroom nice apartment for your ass. So then they get in the car. She lets him drive. They get in the car. She trying to make a joke out of it, talking about something. Oh, well, you didn't freeze, did you? He was like, I was freezing. No, what do you think? So she gonna touch him on his arm. Was like, nope, you're not frozen. Like, I feel like she was just trying to make light of the situation. And of course, he mad. So she was like, well, what do you want to do today? And he was like, I don't know. I want to go to the strip club. I want to give me a bottle. And she was like, well, I want to go to breakfast. So, you know, after that, let me know what you want to do. She was like, so where you want to go eat? Like, do you want to go somewhere that has breakfast food and regular food? Because I know a spot we can go to. He ain't paying her no attention. Next thing you know, the phone rang and some dude calling talking about, what's up, man? What's going on? He was like, man, I'm running a little bit late. Because, I mean, she was late coming to pick me up. She was late coming to get me. He's talking about something. I'm going to the barbershop. I'm going to see my boy at the barbershop. So now she got an attitude and she pissed. Which, I understand she got an attitude and she pissed. Because once again, I get it when people get out of jail that they got other priorities. But it'd be different if he was going to meet his family. But you're going to hang out with your boys? You going to the strip club? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Bruh, It would even be different if they spent the day together and he was like, yo, my boys, they put something together for me, like a little welcome home, and I'm gonna go out with a couple of hours, but I'll be back. I could see if they had spent the day together. So they get to the barbershop and he gonna tell the producer she gonna sit in the car. Y'all handle that. She was like, what? You don't tell me that I get to sit in the car. Like, you don't control where I sit. You don't get to tell me I'm going to sit in the car. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Baby, Kayla got in that damn car, and she sped off so damn fast. But here's my problem, Miss Kayla. Are we going to be right back doing the same bullshit next week? I mean, is that what we're going to be doing? Because you said y'all never really resolved the issue the first time. You just decided to move on. When a person shows you who they are, believe him. This man is showing you that y'all don't have the same temperament. Like, y'all just don't. Moving on. Indy and Harry. Listen, I can't with the two of them. Harry ass ain't been home, right? It's been a whole week. He has not talked to Indy. So you have this girl who moved her whole life to come and be with you in Ohio. You not only are cheating on her, you were cheating on her before your ass even got out of jail. You're cheating on her now. And when she caught you, your response is to just go radio silent. You didn't call her. You ain't been back to the house. You've been staying at your other sister's house and with the other chick, whatever you doing with the other chick. And the only reason why you took your bitch ass over to that house is because your parole officer called you and said, where you been? Because I called the house and your sister told me that you haven't been there. And not only have you haven't been there, but your sister said, I don't even want him on my paperwork anymore. So he gonna have to find somewhere else to live because he can't live with me. So now your parole officer says, listen, you got till 6 o'clock tonight to give me your address. I'm putting a warrant out for your ass and you going back to jail. So of course, Harry don't want to go back to jail. So now he walks his happy ass over to his sister's house to finally talk to Indy. And even with that, the conversation is not very successful because he's sitting there with an attitude. He's sitting there with like, he don't understand why everybody got a problem. He don't understand what he did wrong, what the issue is. And he even said, this is how I knew that it was over with. He said, I feel like I expected everybody to cater to me when I got out of jail, but that's not what they're doing. They're not catering to me and they're not understanding my needs. Bruh, here's the thing. And Indy even said this. Indy said, that's all you had to say was that you weren't ready. All you had to say was that you weren't ready. That's it. That's all you had to tell me was that you weren't ready, but you let me move not only move myself, but move my child up here. You don't spend no time with us. You haven't spent any time with my child. You say you want to be her daddy, but clearly that's not what you want, but that's all you had to say. I mean, I know what the situation is in real time, and I'm sure y'all do too, but we're going to leave it there till we see how it play out. So then we have Taylor and Chance. Now, Chance decides that he wants to buy a ring for Taylor. He feels really bad about the way things are going with her and her sister. And he said, when I was in jail, I bought her a promise ring. I worked. I was working a job making $75 a month. So I saved my money up for 2 months to buy her a $150 promise ring. But now I want to buy her a real ring. And I'm going to say this. Even though I think Rick got some shit with him, what I thought was really sweet was when he went to the store to buy the ring. Not only did he buy a ring for Taylor because he wants to propose to her, he wants to buy her an engagement ring, but he bought 3 promise rings for her daughters. And I did think that was sweet. I thought that was sweet that he was like, listen, I'm making a promise to them and to their mother. So I thought that was sweet. He said he got him a good job making $20 an hour. Looks like he's doing plumbing work or something like that. Good for you, Rick. Now look, I can talk about them when they bad, but I'm gonna shout them out when they good. So good for you, Rick. Good for you. But when he get home that night to give her the ring, I don't think he was gonna give her the ring. She's sick. She is complaining about having this really sharp pain in her side. She's crying, and he was like, do you want to go to the hospital? Do you want to go to the hospital? So they finally go to the hospital. They get to the hospital. They don't know what's going on. They're trying to figure out what's going on with her. Matter of fact, at one point, they were talking about they were going to send her to another hospital because they couldn't figure out what the issue was. A couple of hours later, her ass comes skipping up out the damn hospital like ain't shit just happened, talking about they finally figured out what was wrong with me. I had an infection in my ass. Because that's what it sounded like. She had an infection in her ass. And she said that basically it came from having rough sex and too much sex in different positions. Now Chance said it came from him hitting it in the back door, front door, back door without, you know, taking proper precautions. Now listen, I don't judge nobody for their sex life because I just think, you know, things make the world go round. So I ain't here to judge nobody. I ain't here to tell nobody they wrong, right, or indifferent for how they choose to have sex. I am not here for that, okay? Let's be clear. But I ain't never heard of, I mean, I've heard of getting diseases from sex, but I ain't never heard of you having sex so hard it gives you an infection. To all my doctors or nurses that are watching this, can y'all put that in the comments and explain that to me a little bit more? Pardon my ignorance. Okay, I'll admit, pardon my ignorance, but can y'all break that down for me? I feel like I know what really happened and they was dancing around it, but can y'all break that down for me, please? And thank you. Appreciate you. Yep. Whew, honey. Last but not least, child, we got Antoine and Lacy. Now, Antoine is still in his feelings because Lacy took him down to that car lot and showed him that car and then wouldn't close the deal. Listen, Lacy, let me tell you what you can't do. Back in the day, I know some of y'all might not remember, we used to have this store called Toys R Us. I think about, 3-4 years ago, Toys R Us closed, okay? Maybe 2 years ago. Toys R Us was basically a Target of toys. It was just all toys from the front door to the back. They had everything from card games to bikes, okay? They had all of it there. What you did to Antoine was you took a 8-year-old into Toys R Us and said, I'm not buying you nothing. Look around. I want you to look at all the toys. I want you to look at everything that's here. I want you to play around with it. Because you know you can play with the toys and stuff. Play around with it. See how you like it. All right, we're going to go. And you don't buy nobody nothing. See, that's what you did to Antoine. For as much as I understand why you didn't want to put your name on a car for a person that just got out of jail for car theft, the problem is you took him there. You got his hopes up. You had him sit down with the man and talk about numbers and flesh out payments and stuff. And then at the end, when it was time for you to put your John Hancock on the dotted line, you were like, oh, hell nah. Listen, I would be irritated if I was Antoine too. So they get back to the house and she irritated and he's irritated now. And they get to arguing and all that good stuff. And she's talking about how he's ungrateful and you don't understand and this, that, and the other. So then he says, oh, well, you know what else I got for you? I know it was you that sent me the fake letter in jail. Now, remember a couple of episodes ago, we saw her making up this fake-ass letter where she was like, well, I just got to see if he's really going to be committed to me. Bitch, you didn't even change your handwriting. He said, I recognized it was yours because I know your handwriting. So he like confronted her with these letters. And of course, she couldn't do nothing but be like, yeah, I did it. And she was like, well, I had to make sure that you were in this. I had to make sure that you were, you know, that you weren't going to cheat on me. I had to make sure that you were faithful. He was like, but I knew it was you. Like, what kind of shit is that? You sending me a letter. He said, I knew it was her because it was so aggressive. And it was like, and then where she said she knew me from, I did the research and it was a lie. And he was like, I knew it was her. It's the same handwriting. So now Lacy looks stupid because he done figured out it was her. And she can't do nothing but admit it. So now he got an attitude and she got an attitude. And the producers were like, well, if you were cheating, would you admit it? He was like, hell no, I ain't never gonna admit it. He said, even if I was cheating on her, I wouldn't admit to cheating on her. Period. Y'all, Child, Antoine, as soon as he get around his mama, it's gonna be a whole situation. Antoine probably back in jail already. Before we get done filming this show, Antoine ass probably back in jail. Anyway, that was the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.